Hey everyone, today we are going to learn how to fasten off our crochet project. Now you'll hear sometimes people will say fasten off and weave in your ends. That's technically a little bit redundant, but fasten off means to cut your yarn and weave in your ends. So you can see here I have finished my last stitch of my row and I have a loop on my hook. What I'm going to do is just pull up my hook to about 6 or 8 inches and I'm going to cut it just like that. Now I'm going to pull out what had been my working yarn, so that's the yarn attached to the rest of the ball, and I'm going to be left with a tail of about 6-8 inches depending on how long the tail you leave. Now I'm going to pull out a darning needle. A darning needle or a tapestry needle can be plastic or metal, has a blunt end, and has a very large eye so that the yarn can fit through the eye of the needle. I'm going to thread my needle. And from here, I'm going to begin weaving in my end. Now to do that, I'm going to be going in between part of the stitch. So you can see here, I'm not splitting the ply of the yarn. I'm going under some parts of the stitches so that it's secure and it's not coming out. I'm going to go in between the parts of the stitches just like this, in different directions. Here you go, going through some more. Again, I am not splitting the ply of the yarn. I'm going underneath some of the yarn that's wrapped up in the stitch. But I don't want the yarn, if it's a different color, to be showing through to the other side. This blends in pretty well because it's all the same color. But you can see I'm going in between and I'm changing directions as well. This is all going to help form a more secure attachment for your end. Now, once I've done that through a few stitches, I'm going to turn my needle around and start kind of weaving back over it. Everybody has their own method for weaving in their ends. I find that by changing directions and going back over what I've done already helps to keep it from pulling out because you want it to stay put forever and ever and through the washing machine. And that's it. So I'll have a little bit left over and I'm just going to snip that off with my scissors. There you go. You'll never know it's there. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the end I started with. So this is at the end of my chain where I started my crochet. Just thread my needle and begin sewing through using the same method. Now I don't sew through and pull so tightly as to like dent the stitch or make it obvious that's where I pulled through. You kind of want to be gentle but firm. And again, once I've woven that in, I'm just going to trim my excess. And that's how you fasten off in crochet. You'll never know the ends were there.